Budget Bits.
Welcome back. Oh God, I hit my mic. Try that again.
Man, get your shit together, homie.
What a start.
Welcome back to Season 2, Episode 13 of Budget Bits Podcast, where we talk about cheap games that cost $20 or less, if that's what you consider cheap. I am Justin Birchfield. Hello.
And I'm Dylan Lakes. Hey.
Tyler Chambers.
You have to say
You gotta
something.
say yo or
You got to say like a different way to say hello.
Your regularly scheduled Budget Bits is going through some stuff, apparently.
Hello, and welcome back to Season 2, Episode 13, Budget Bits Podcast, where we talk about games that are $20 or less. I am Justin Birchfield. Hello.
I'm Dylan Lakes. Yo.
Tyler Chambers. Howdy.
And you all have no idea how hard that intro was.
We did it.
This is a podcast where we talk about, like I said, games that are $20 or less. We pick an episode or a game for the episode, and this week's episode is all about like we post every week. This episode is about For the King 2.
Yes.
So it's a game. We played it. We talk about it, and that's pretty much it. Yeah. So, what do you want to talk about there, Dylan? Do you want to talk about it? Tyler, you want to talk about it? Me talk about it?
We should probably
Let's just skip to the discussion.
we should probably briefly talk about that we were big fans of For the King.
Okay. When did that
When did that one come
When
out?
did that come out? You go ahead and talk about that, and I'll see when it was
For the
released.
King 1.
14.
Let's make a guess out of it.
That's probably pretty close. I'm thinking 2016.
I was thinking 2016, 2015. 2017. Let's say 2017 now. Be different. Tyler, you have a guess?
He said like 20.
I said 14.
Oh, wow.
And
18. Wow, we were all wrong.
And I want to say that we started playing For the King 1 when it went. I think it went free on Epic one time. So a few of us had it, and we just randomly started playing it. This was around the time I think I want to say I first got a PC. Like it, I don't know.
That seems about right.
That does seem about right.
I would agree with that.
And yeah, we just started playing it, and then we quickly fell in love with it. As it's, I guess the best way to describe it is it's very board game style. Like think like Octagon.
Hexagon, I swear, if you mix that. Okay.
Hexagon spots, like you're moving like almost like board game like. And the gameplay is very like, I don't know, D&D inspired. Like you have a party, you have different classes, you have different stats that all affect like what you're trying to do or you're in battle, all kinds of things. But that's a brief description of how For the King is. It's a turn-based game, but it's multiplayer. And you can have, in the first one, you could have up to 3 people in your party. In this new one, you can have 4 people.
Well, that's where the tool comes from.
That's where the tool comes.
Because they added one to the title and they added one to the party. Yeah. And 3's gonna have 5.
Yeah. So that was probably one of the bigger like differences, but they've upgraded all the art. They've upgraded quite a bit of stuff. It's very fun. Is there anything?
But yeah,
do you want to add the gameplay part of it? The best description I could come up with is like a board game style, but
it's
plays like Catan.
That's an inside joke. That's gonna be. Oh my gosh, what is a good way to describe it? Overworld, like you said, you move on a hexagonal board. Overworld, you fight different creatures. You basically grind, level up. So another thing too, we talk about in this one, which we're going to talk about a little bit later, is there's a grid battle system. Basically, your position on the board matters, and the enemies can move on the battlefield. You have a huge variety of weapons and spells. You have people that specialize in, one of your 6 stats. Well, I should say 5, because one of them's not really a battle stat, but it's luck. But they can specialize in like strength, vitality,
Awareness.
what is the other one? Awareness, knowledge, and agility. That's the last one. And yeah, it's really fun to just find the different items that work together and different classes that work together, and you clearly have certain strengths that other party members do not have. Unless you all pick the same class, then you're not special at all.
It adds like a really neat level of like camaraderie.
Yeah, like you depend on other people for
sure.
other stuff. You need the heavy hitter, you need the tank, you need a healer, you need someone that can, take all the magic stuff, take all the heavy hitty stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have anything else to say about it. Tyler, anything to add on that? Description wise?
No, not really for the description. I mean, you pretty much hit the major details. Stats, the
Yeah.
board,
Yeah.
turn-based. I mean,
Yeah, it's just I think like back to like the camaraderie thing. It's neat, like because like there's just items you get that are like tailor made to like different classes. So if I find a bow and Tyler's playing the hunter, obviously we're gonna give that to Tyler, and you work together to try to overcome different challenges. Is I think the main point of the game.
I'm reading the description on Steam, and I didn't really think about this, but it says blends roguelite into it. And I never really thought about it, but I guess it kind of does.
Are you counting the dungeons like that? Well,
No, the loadouts and stuff, the lore store.
yeah.
Yeah, that would make
I don't know if I would call it a roguelike, but it's got like elements.
It's got the elements, yeah.
Yeah.
I never really thought about it, but I guess in
Yeah.
a way it does.
And
How's it not considered a roguelike? You go in, you progress, you can get other stuff, and
yeah, but
I mean, you don't technically get the
You don't
exact
really-
item, but you get stuff to unlock stuff to make your next run different.
I guess that's true. But I guess when
It's just different.
It's a different way
yeah,
to do
to
it.
me,
It's-
to me,
yeah.
it's a full campaign until your whole party dies. Like it's
Well, if it's just a run, I mean, it's just a really long
it's a
run.
really
you can't
long
finish
run.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's usually not just.
So
a
I guess
one-time
my
sit-down.
mind just doesn't go to roguelike
Yeah,
in that
Yeah.
sense. But they've added like some elements from that make it really fun and neat. And I don't know about you guys, but I can say this about For the King 1 and 2. Every single time you start a different campaign, to me, it's always felt different. Like there's always something new, something random. Like the random factor in the game is just really good. And
Yeah.
Dude,
and
it's what makes the replayability of this game
it's like
like
infinite.
insanely high.
Yeah, because I mean, and what I also like just love about the game is that it's so easy to just pick up and be like, "Hey, do you want to play For the King?" And we pick up.
Do you want to start one of our 27 runs?
Well, right.
Yeah, that's the only bad thing. About
That
it.
is,
Yeah.
yes, because we have a decent sized group of friends where if you start a campaign with 4 people, you have to have those 4 people to play again. Otherwise, someone else has to control their character, make decisions for them, and it's just kind of messy. So we end up starting multiple different campaigns, which normally would infuriate me because I'd play the beginning so many times and get burnt out. But this game doesn't do that to me. Like for instance, like Baldur's Gate 3, when we had I think we had 1 or 2, and I was already aggravated that we had to play through the beginning again. But For the King, it's just so different every time. I guess I don't know.
I think that's
it's not
where
as
it
committed.
speaks to.
There's not as much commitment to it as well.
Well, I think we talked about it just a little bit before we got on, but how the story of it. Let me just say this about the story. We've started this campaign, I think 3 times for me. I still don't have a clue what's happening in this story. I know the queen is mad about something and they're sending guards, and then this woman's in town like, hey, you gotta go find my husband. Hey, you gotta go do this. And I'm just like, cool chick, what up? I'll do it. I don't know why I'm doing it. I don't know why I'm doing it. I don't know who I'm doing. Someone call me.
Yeah,
But
I think I've started the game. I think I've started 10 adventures. And
but
yeah, same thing. No idea what the story
I
is.
read it.
what Dylan said, I don't care to jump in. I don't care where I jump in because it doesn't matter. I'm not there for the story. I'm there because there's bad guy, and I want to interact with different classes and abilities to.
And it's just fun.
Kill
And
the
it's
bad
just
guy.
fun. It's
fun
just
to do it.
fun, dude. And
Yeah.
like for me, like turn-based, like I know a lot of people like hate it, but it's one of my favorite types of genres for any video game. And the fact that they made it multiplayer where I can play with my friends is insane. And I don't understand why people haven't like took to that and done that in other games.
I don't like a turn-based combat
Typically.
system like that, typically. But this one I love,
Right.
like so much. I don't know why. It just clicks for me. I love it.
It just works,
Yeah.
and it just works, and it's intoxicating finding new items and new like stat buffs and like in
Yeah.
I think it's the Budget Bits one that we started.
The one of four.
Is that that's the one where I have like 65 evasion?
There's always one person that has the
Just
98 evasion or something like
yeah,
that.
I've got the
Everyone else is like naked with like a stick they can defend themselves with.
yeah. Apparently, when you lose clothing, you're just more evasive. That's
Yeah.
that's just a fact of this game.
It just makes sense.
Yeah. But it's just like in Tyler, I think has like 95 luck or something silly. But-
Now I recently got bumped down to like 89.
Oh,
Shoot.
stink.
It's just
Which, do we even know is 100 the max?
I
Can
think
you
you
even-
cap out in the first
Pretty
game.
sure it
You
is.
capped out at 95,
95,
Oh,
okay.
but it was always out of 100. It was just to make it fair to where you could never
so you could miss.
100 out of stat, so it would literally be a perfect roll every single time.
Right.
There's always a chance of failure.
But yeah, just something about it works. It makes like I said, the camaraderie part and just the finding items and like maxing stats and sharing items with each other just works, and in such a good way. And it's such, I don't know, I love the art style too. I think it's really just pleasant to look at. The music and atmosphere is just really cool. And like I'm a big time story whore, I guess we'll call it that. And because I just love a good narrative, I love a good story. But like Justin said, in this, it doesn't really matter. I've read the beginning story, and I still don't fully understand why we're doing what this lady says to do, or who we really are. Besides just a random D&D party is what it feels like. But it's
Yeah,
just
basically.
so much fun.
But who cares?
cares?
Yeah. But who
If it's
cares?
fun, it's fun.
Yeah.
But that's just
Exactly.
a small aspect of that it comes up short. But honestly, we're only in like chapter 1 of like 6, so there's
I think it's 5,
five?
but it could
Yeah.
be. It doesn't matter either way.
either way.
I've got my money's worth already in the first chapter.
Well, what I'm saying is maybe there is a story that we get to, that there is like some type of more rich narrative. But even if
Maybe.
there isn't, if we get to the end and fight a big giant dragon, I'll have a crap ton of fun.
Yeah, exactly. And do I know why I'm fighting this dragon? Probably not. I just know I'm having fun fighting
Don't
this
need
dragon.
to know.
Yeah, the art style, the music. Touch on that real quick. If you again, we're saying 2. I'm not gonna harp, I guess, too much on the changes from the first one. But just bring them up as they come about. But if you played the first one, you would know it's very low poly. It was lots of triangles and stuff. They definitely went a different direction with 2. Made everything a lot
Smooth.
more high poly, a little smooth, almost like like cartoon clay looking.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it really, but it's like everything's really smooth now.
Yeah.
Close
Where the
enough.
But it's not like trying to be realistic. It's like we're fully leaning to like the cartoon look
Yeah.
still.
more animated. Like the first one is
And-
like I would call like polygon style.
Yeah, it's definitely a low poly. That's like your bread and butter low poly. But this one is just it looks nice. Like at first I was like, "Oh, it's not the low poly look of the first one." But
It's still got that good
more we played it-
ragdoll effect though.
oh yeah, absolutely. We played like 2 or 3 hours into it, and I think it was Zach that may have said it. He said Has anybody completely just gotten over the fact what this game looks like? I'm like, oh yeah, this freaking game looks beautiful. Oh, I am fully sold on it. Yeah, I was wrong to think that this is not the art style they should go with.
Yeah.
I liked it a lot.
Very cool.
Tiller, you have anything? Nothing? Maybe?
No, I mean, I don't. If there's music, I've never really paid attention to it because it's like must be like low in the background.
It's background music mostly.
It's basic. It's. I think it's probably a good thing. It's not very intrusive.
Yeah.
The battle music gets me a little
The
hyped.
battle,
though.
especially like against a big boss, like the battle music's very hype.
Yeah. But the overworld music is just a nice one of that. It's a
Ambiance.
woodwind instrument.
Yeah.
And I don't know what instrument it is, but it's just a
We're gonna say the
little,
piccolo.
fantasy ambiance. We'll say it's the piccolo. But yeah, it's playing and it's just nice vibe.
It's a good old
until
stick.
your chaos stat goes too high and it starts to get more aggressive.
Yeah.
But
anyways, I think the next thing we're going to focus on is the battle system, and basically that is, I would say, the biggest difference.
and I like it a lot.
from the first to the second one. First one, you were basically locked in. You just had 3 people looking at up to 3 enemies, and you just pick and choose who you want to hit.
Like
Now, it matters where you're standing.
yeah,
Yeah.
because there's a back row and a front row now, and I think it's a 4x4 or 2x4 grid.
2x4, correct?
And you can be in front or back. If you have a shield, say Tyler has a shield and I'm behind him, then I get like a protected bonus.
Yeah, like enemies cannot specifically target him.
Like you can still get hit with like an area of effect attack, but no one can like single target. Like it's to protect like a wizard who's like squishy, which I think.
There's some weapons where, like melee weapons, you have to be in the front row if you want to attack.
Right.
There's another thing, and again, it's only said during a loading screen, which we're going to talk about stuff like that later.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't tell you that. But if you're in the back row, you get a +5 boost to your evasion, which is just nice to have.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yep.
And now it lets the developers put more enemies in the battles, because we've had up to 5. I don't think we went over 5. But we've had a 4v5.
Man, we may have had 6. There was a lot.
I don't know. I don't want to say specifically if there's been 6, but I know for sure there's been 5.
Yeah, and it's a lot to deal with, especially if you don't have like any good, like really good AoE attacks.
Oh yeah.
It may have been on one of my single playthroughs, but I'm fairly certain I had 6 or 7. And it's just because one of the enemies can call in other enemies, and you're like, huh.
Oh,
I should let them keep
well,
going.
This just sucks. Yeah, this sucks.
Then there's the fact that there can be large enemies. They can take up a 2x2 area, which one of their names is Boner, which is hilarious.
Oh, man.
Dang it. That was the first one we ever encountered, and it's exactly what you would expect it is.
Yeah.
A large skeleton with a skeleton. What is
a bone club?
You guys are, a big bone club. What are y'all thinking about? I don't know. What else is there about the battle system?
That's like new or just like what we like?
Just new, liked, didn't like.
Secondary and primary actions.
There you go. Yeah.
I mean, they added the secondary action just because.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure because of the grid movement you can do within battles.
Yeah, because now you can actually move.
Yeah, but what's good about this one is, a difference from the first one, I guess, is like in this one, your secondary action is considered using an item, whereas in the first one, that was your whole turn.
Yes, like equipping a new weapon.
Right.
If one broke,
and that's huge, dude.
Huge.
The fact
that is
every
like a huge
turn
blessing.
matters.
Yeah, because like honestly, like I think it's a great idea to have 2 different styles of weapons that you like switch between. That's what I've kind of leaned into doing most of our runs. Is having like a good physical weapon, but then also having a good ranged weapon. And the fact that you can just bonus action, well, I'm going to call it bonus action, but it's secondary action, like switch weapon and then still attack, to me added a lot of, like, I thought that was a good quality of life improvement. Because the fact that, like, in the old one, if I wanted to switch weapon, it took my whole action and I just got to sit there and, like, switch weapon and then in my turn. It was always very sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucked.
Yeah.
The other thing, and we'll talk about with the weapons too, since it's definitely the time to talk about it, is now they have, like Dylan said earlier, area of effect. Wow. Give me a second. Woo! Getting over some illness. The area of effect attacks on weapons now. So
Yeah.
there's usually, I'd basically say with every single weapon, there's your standard, I focused one guy and hit that guy for this amount of damage type of attack. But beyond that, there's some weapons that have 2 or 3 attacks, where it could be something like you impose a status ability or status effect on them.
Right.
And then there's some that have different AoEs. So one could be like, I only one I remember for sure is the geyser from the Trident.
I loved that, dude.
It's a column, so it hits one box and then the box directly behind it as well. There's a I don't know what it's called specifically, but basically hits a 2x3 area. There's one that hits a splash. It's like a center target, and then
the boomerang.
That's a row,
it's a
isn't
row
it?
attack. Yeah, you get to
Yeah.
attack an entire 4 people if they're all on it.
So yeah, stuff like that. Just completely changes the strategy of battle, and also the fact that you can move your own people and your own allies' abilities affect where you are on the battlefield. So
Since we're talking weapons, I do want to mention that another thing they changed, which kind of forget about till we see it, but the fact that, like, weapons can be made of different material now. So you might have a short sword, and one might be made of elm, and one might be made of birchwood, and there'll be like a slight stat difference. Usually it's nothing major, but one's usually like slightly better than the other. But it adds some variety to where, like, it's not just a short sword that you pick up like in the first one. It's something a little different. So you want to look at them. In the old one, if I had a short sword and I found a short sword, I wouldn't even look twice at it. Exactly. So this adds, like, oh, this might have, like, you know, a +1 resistance instead of like the +1 armor. And it's...
Yeah, I do like that.
I think it's really cool, man.
It's very small, but it's really nice. I don't think there's anything else I really want to add about it. Is there anything else?
No.
Positive that you want to talk about?
I think we covered most of the positive stuff, man. Because I generally just love this game. Like,
you all are forgetting the most groundbreaking, most positive experience we've had.
I'm forgetting it too.
Oh no, what? I'm so scared.
And it's a little companion named Eagly.
Oh no, I had repressed this.
Casey's gonna kill us for taking this long. Okay, yeah, Tyler.
That was
that.
Oh yeah.
So,
well,
I don't even. Was it random? Like, we defeated
it's just a
an
random
enemy?
encounter.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's an encounter. It was like one of those things that pop up on the map.
But they're considered a companion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're just playing along. We're traversing over the map or whatever. And this, in this game, there's a lot of, like, hidden stuff on the map that will pop up if you get within a certain amount of hexes from it. And sometimes even as you're on the hex itself, it'll reveal itself. So in this instance, there was a, I guess it was just a bald eagle.
I think it was an eagle's nest.
Eagle's nest?
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
So it popped up, and then it basically said, do you want to recruit this eagle? And we're like, yeah, why not? Because more people to fight the enemies, why would you not say yes?
They don't want that smoke, man.
No.
So we took on the eagle, and we didn't know what that really even meant. So we're like, okay, is it just going to be like an asset to us, whatever? No, this eagle actually fights. Yes, this hero,
American hero.
The American hero actually fights for you, takes up a spot on the grid map that in the battle, and will attack, and might I say, does pretty dang hefty attacks for a free companion like that.
Dude, and he made it so far.
And you would treat this eagle like any other teammate, so you can heal it. Any status that it would have, you could heal it. The only thing it did was it acted as an AI, so I mean, it acted on its own.
We couldn't figure out how to heal it though, like heal its HP.
Yeah,
I think the only way to do it was by party heal.
It was probably like that, like
or
someone
like
actually
in
had to do
battle.
I don't think you could specifically target him.
But-
maybe, I don't remember.
it. Either way, we have to. Yeah, you gotta finish the rest of the story though, because
Either way.
I'm tearing up, man. That R.I.P. Eagly.
So trying to think if we were obviously in a battle. Did the chaos hit?
Man,
I think it was a chaos. It was a chaos event that happened.
So the chaos in this game is pretty unforgiving. If you're used to fighting certain enemies, the chaos is just like, yeah, well, here's 3 times worse the enemies.
yeah.
And this American hero
Dude.
God bless him.
took a hit for the whole team. It was like a live or die end of the game situation. This eagle took it randomly, but still took it.
Play the trumpets here.
That was by far the most emotional moment I had in that entire game. Is watching our
Dude,
our little buddy
He fought
die.
so hard though.
He did.
And I remember
And genuinely, that was the most emotional. I was like, dude, I was the most passionate. It's just making sure this eagle or
And
eagly lives as long as
and I
possible.
can't remember who our healer was. I think it was you, Justin.
No, absolutely
Was it not?
I'm never taking a healer spot ever again.
Maybe it was Tyler. Maybe
that's
you
okay.
were
It may have
maybe
been
you were the
me.
herbalist during that run.
Oh, I think I was here.
But
It's Tyler's fault.
But
Tyler's fault.
we had a chance.
I
We had
tried,
a
man.
chance to save me or Eagly, and I was like, "No, dude, you gotta save Eagly. let
100%
me die."
eagly.
And because I had the thing that put smoke on the party, so that we gave Eagly more evasion, and he evaded like 4 attacks in a row. Man,
Yep, he was a hero.
absolute hero. What
Once we
a
saw-
legend.
Once we saw what Eagly could do on the battlefield, we were like, "This is our hitter.
He's our ace.
This is our strong
he's
hitter.
Our ace, man.
I mean, we got to protect it at all costs."
But recruitment is like a full thing, and I guess there's a lot more animal. Like that's the only animal we've came across so far. But there's more. There is.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure you can get
there
a
is
spider.
more animals, and you can like at towns. We still haven't done this, but you can hire.
we
you
don't
can,
need to. We're too
Well, you
good.
can hire mercenaries.
We're
They are too good.
We don't need 'em.
You're right. But there's.
We were never good enough for Eagle A, so
Yeah.
whatever.
I live every day trying to be good enough for Eagly.
All right, so that's a good one to end what we liked about
Yeah.
it. You want to talk about what we didn't like about it?
Yeah.
Because I would like to start with my biggest pet peeve.
All right, man. Go for it.
which is probably the same.
I think
for
we
of us.
all have talked about it. Yeah, but go for it.
Is the lack of information and ability to find information, any notations anywhere, it's okay. So let me just give you I'm just gonna give you a rundown, and I'm just gonna paint this image in your head. You have Goblin in front of you, okay? You have a Goblin underneath it. It's a red bar, and it says 52 out of 52. You know what that means, right? You've got it in your head. You've played video games before. You're smart. That's its health.
Sure.
All right. Underneath it, you see a little swirly and has a cross through it. Now you tell me, what does that mean? Come on. Give me your guesses. Come on. You're smart. You don't know. And guess what? When you play the game, if you hover your little mouse over top of it, you're like, all right, it's going to tell me. Nope, it don't tell you.
Yeah.
So you have to go to the encyclopedia in the game, and you have to go to battle status effects. And then you have to find the icon in the encyclopedia, and then you have to find what that says about it to figure out what that little icon says. Now, there's about 20 different icons that could be appeared underneath
Right.
enemies. So you got to do that for every single one.
And I do feel like we knew some, mainly because we played
Just
the
because we
first
played
one.
the first one.
So if you came into this and you, like, it is weird that you can't, like, hover over it and just see what that status does.
And not to bring it up too much, but you know what you could do in the first one?
Not that.
hover right over top of it, and you can see exactly
Right.
what it's talking.
Right, because there could be a square. Like there was the rainbow effect. The complete square is rainbow, and we're like, what the heck does that mean? And you hover over the square, and it doesn't say anything, and you're like, okay.
It's just bad. We just know it's bad. I don't want to be there.
But yeah, the lack of information. I think that could be probably fixed with like a good quality of life update.
That would be my number. I would probably bump it up a whole entire point for me when we get to ratings.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's a tough one. I feel like
that's its biggest hindrance.
I think
right
so.
now,
I think
for
so.
me to have an RPG like that and not be able to tell quickly information. I mean, that just bogs it all down when you have to go like, what does that even do? And sometimes you can't even find it. Like, no joke. There's some effects on there. They're just not in these unless they are just hidden somewhere.
Yeah,
I cannot.
That and like if it's not your turn, you really couldn't figure stuff out. But if it was your turn, there was like on the top right, like some stuff,
a little box.
Yeah, and you could, but no one else could see it unless it was their turn. I think for me, one of the main things I didn't like was like, so like your inventory and like your stats at the bottom middle, like it just changes based on whose turn it is, and you expect that information to be your own, but it's not. I could be looking at like Justin's and think, oh, I'm like this. I have this much awareness. I didn't think I even picked a character like that, and that happened to me so many times. Or I'm looking at my inventory and I'm like, I don't remember picking that up, and I'm like, dang it, this is Tyler's inventory. But
I don't know if it's based. It might be like while you're in the game.
Yeah.
But I think when you're in the overworld, I think how it works is, so if you click the inventory,
that's when it's the most confusing.
It does pop up to you. It pop up to you, but if you like switch to a different character to like look at what Dylan has per se, if you close out that inventory and then a few turns go by and then you click the inventory again, it remembers. It's like, oh, you want to look at Dylan's again? I'm like, well, no, that was 3 turns ago. I want to look at mine. Like, if I close this, I'm done.
Like I
want to go back to me every single time.
I guess that's the most odd thing to me is that it's not just like, because like to explain, there's like character portraits. There's like, it'll show each like a little portrait of each of our characters, and you'd think you would just click one of our portraits and it'd show our stats, and then you could switch between that, and then by default it would just show your own, and it just doesn't. It's very like, it's honestly just slightly annoying. Like it's not.
It's just strange.
It's just strange. It's not like it.
I feel like it's more so because it was catered. That decision was catered more towards a single player experience.
Maybe.
Which is still strange to me because I feel like this game was kind of designed to have 4 people playing.
Yeah, I mean that's when it shines.
And it even scales. It scales down to how many players are in the party.
Yeah.
Which is, so why wouldn't you have it to where if you're controlling this player, okay, I'm going to default to open this inventory every time you click this button.
Exactly.
Strange. It's a small annoyance, but once it happens 30 times and you still don't get used to it, it's annoying.
It's reached annoying at that point. Tyler?
We've grieved.
Yep. I've got a couple things.
All right. Spit on us.
So I'll start at the top of my list. So my biggest pet peeve with the whole entire shebang was how to unlock characters, items, cosmetics, pretty much anything. So in this game, as you progress through the story, you get your currency is called lore, pretty much. So in the title menu, you go to the lore store and you can buy new characters. In this one, they have a loadout. You can buy stuff for it. You can buy cosmetics. However, there's a lot of stuff that's behind padlocks. And behind those, usually it would tell you, like, meet the requirements of XYZ. This game, it doesn't do that. It doesn't tell you the vaguest idea of what to do. It just says you haven't met the requirements. That's all you have to go by. You're like, cool.
But what are the
don't know what I need to do.
Tyler?
Yeah, we don't know. that's my biggest pet peeve of the game is like there's no way to figure it out unless you just play. Like normally, even if you just play, you'll get access to something. This game does not do that.
But what's even crazier too on that too is we've been playing sometimes. How many times y'all been playing and in the top right goes, "You've unlocked this," and I'm like, "Oh, okay. What did we do?
Yeah.
This is just a random. This is a battle. What happened? What did we do to it? It's not even like, hey,
it's made
killed 100 enemies. I'm like, oh, really? Cool.
It's made to be an achievement, but like doesn't tell you what you did to get.
I don't know what I achieved.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, there's some things that are behind achievements in the game. So, like I said, in this one, like I said, there's a loadout screen. In the loadout, you can purchase I think it's like a black jawbreaker or something like that. And that will like permanently increase your strength 3 points, something like that in the game. And it does it one time. To unlock that, you have to do an achievement of like, I don't know, defeat 10 Queen's Guard or something. Like, but it doesn't tell you that.
We don't know that. No one knows. We don't know any of them.
Which is fine if you're going to do that, but
it should be
at least have a vague description of anything. Don't just say you didn't meet the requirements.
Yeah, or say something like kill more goblins.
Yeah.
Kill more
Or even if it
Queen's
said
Guards.
unlock in chapter 2.
Or even just if it just said if it showed you what the item was, like gave you a description but didn't, like at least you'd have something like, okay, I need to focus on this when I play
Or like
through.
a grayed out outline of what the item is or something.
Yeah, like if it said kill 10 Queen's Guard to get this jawbreaker, which permanently increases strength, that would give me motive to go fight certain battles in this game and to unlock certain things.
You would choose certain enemies
definitely
based on it.
Yeah, you would prioritize a lot more.
Yeah.
Especially because I think the only 3 colors they have is just basically like brown, purple, and gold. I think I could be wrong here, but that's it. That's the only different colors. That's the only thing differentiating them, and it's the rarity values, and that just does not get me excited.
Yeah.
I'm like, I do not care about this. I do not care about rarity. I want to see what this item is,
Yeah.
or at least see the silhouette of it. Because if I see the fiery sword of death and doom and gloom behind a box, and it says, you need to complete chapter 3 to unlock this, you better believe I'm like, boys, let's freaking get to chapter 3 and get this freaking thing. I need to see what this does.
Yeah, exactly.
You have
It
to.
pushes you
But
to
now
play
it's
it
just
more.
it's a purple box to me. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll call them definitely like achievements. But
Yeah.
they definitely could like, I don't understand why they're secret.
Yeah, there's
not get that.
no rhyme or reason for them to be.
I would understand if there was, because I think in the first one they had, there were secret achievements to get,
But they
but
were
it
called
was very
secret.
obvious when you were getting them in the game, because there was one, let's just say there was this character, I'd forget what the name of it was, but basically there's a random encounter that you would get in one of your playthroughs where you like had to fight a whale or something, but you got swallowed by the whale, I think. And then you had to make a fight inside the whale, and when you killed it, there was a person inside the whale that you free, and then they join your party. And it's
See,
just a random. I'm
that's
like,
awesome.
that's so cool. I love that. But everything else in this game has been like, you got candy. Good job.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what you did. You just got candy now. Yeah, congratulations.
So I do want to hit on the whole unlocking characters. So I think you start off with like 6 maybe out of a total of 12, I'm pretty sure. Like Justin said in the first one, you got very specific things to unlock characters, and it was a cool little sequence. In this one, I actually had to look it up, and I was highly disappointed. But in every chapter, there is a random hostage in a carriage that you have to find on the map randomly, defeat the enemies around it, and then free them from the carriage, and that's how you unlock the character.
So it was like the first one, but they took all the creativity out of it.
Right, it's literally find this carriage, hostage, kill the enemies around it.
What?
There's no like,
Wait, that's
that's
what it is for all of them?
that's what it is for all of them, just different
I don't
chapters.
like that.
That's so
That is
stinky.
stinky.
That is just lazy development.
Yeah, because they should each like have some type of unique thing, right? Like
Right, like the alchemist.
Like unlocking, like an alchemist, you have to like free him from like a cellar of like he was for.
Or he's changed himself into something.
Sure.
I don't know. We're spitballing, and there's cooler ideas.
Right.
Yeah, say like the whole time, like you have to battle him because he's been struck with the confusion status.
Right. Or
Because he doesn't know what he's doing.
Right. Or you like find the woodcutter just in the forest. Like it just should.
He's attacked by a bear. You got to defeat the bear or something.
More sense with like the class. I feel not just.
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff they could have done.
What are the odds of all of these unlockable characters all being hostages and all
right
being red?
That's
Yeah.
funny. Wow. I did not know that, but I'm sad that I know that.
Yeah,
now.
I don't think I knew that either.
Like I said, that's why I had to look it up because I was getting so frustrated because like I said, I've played the chapter 1 at least 10 times and I've still never unlocked the alchemist. Couldn't even find the cart. So
That's crazy.
yeah,
Even when specifically looking for it,
specifically looking for it.
that's crazy.
Yeah. So I don't know what I need to do different, but
Right.
Well,
but
all right.
that is my biggest gripe of the game. And then my other few little points here and there. In the first one, there was pipes that you can buy from the shop. And I think it went from like level 0 to level 3. The pipes in the first one acted as an HP boost.
And XP.
So whenever you get... And XP?
Ain't.
So whenever you heal in battle in the first one, depending on what level pipe you had, you get more health. In this one, they went a different route. And the pipes, depending on which one you buy, they act for a different stat. So it's like HP, experience, some other things. But the pipes are almost useless
And they're
in this game because you have to use an herb. Every time you use an herb, you'll get that effect of the pipe.
yeah, and if you have an herbalist like in your party, they're gonna be the ones using herbs for the most.
And you can only equip one pipe, so you have to like pick and choose what you want to focus on.
I would agree mostly. I think the only thing I could even think to like possibly say I disagree is it seems like to me that they are a lot more friendly about handing out herbs for free.
Right.
And that it allows another item of customization and strategy that you can employ.
Yeah,
That's about the only reason. Do I like the old system more? Yes.
I like.
But I see where they were trying to go with this.
I do too.
Right.
I like that it's not like because in the first one it's like vital. Like you have to buy the pipes.
It's
you
not an
buy
option.
the pipes before you buy armor and weapons, essentially. But
Yeah.
it
was essentially another level up you could get.
Yeah, pretty much. And so I like getting away from that. I don't think they like the pipe seemed odd to be like the thing, you know?
Yeah.
But
it went from the thing to just another
it went
item.
from the thing to nothing. Like it legit.
Vital to optional.
Yeah, it's completely optional. I think in most our runs, I don't think I bought one yet. Because like it's a cool little perk, but it's probably your least important item.
Yeah, for sure. You don't focus pipe at all anymore.
No. And I feel like there might have been a middle road they could have took with it between that. Like still made them like intriguing or like more sought after than what they are, because like even the perks to them now are just not that great. It's when you use an herb, you get +1 movement that turn. Oh boy, that's gonna change everything.
I feel like they focused on doing too many things with too many different pipes. Like, just keep it simple. Do like an XP or HP, be done with it kind of deal. But like, don't make it vital like the first one.
I kind of would rather it be like an equipable weapon. Not a weapon, equipable item that just gives you perks. Not like based off of herb usage, which I get using herbs with pipe. Haha, it's cool. Yeah, fine. But
it's there, yeah.
But I kind of wish it just had stat upgrades. Like if you have the pipe of swiftness, you get +5 evasion, +5 speed.
Yeah.
That makes a little more sense to me. But
Yeah.
again, that is like to me a really tiny thing to be like. It is silly, but
Yeah, that's all. It's like one of my like just little things here and there that I noticed.
right.
Another thing, whenever like in battles, once it's your turn and you're done, you can't do anything. I wish there was like, I wish there was a way to view your teammates, like inventory if you wanted to see who has like items, or if you could view enemies and their status. You could view the battlefield itself, like what, like if acid or whatever the other effect is that's on the ground, like poison, because acid and poison look so similar in this game.
They really do.
Like I wish there was a way to just observe the battle, like all those things while you're just sitting there waiting for your teammates, because even though we all play in a Discord call, you can play with randoms and they don't have an in-game chat. You can type, sure, but you can't talk. So if you were just playing with randoms, you're just kind of sitting there and you're like, well, guess I'll wait for my turn. So
Yeah.
I just wish you could do more on your off time. And then my last little gripe is I wish you could play single player, but choose the amount of people you want to play. So like every time you play, you have to do 4 in this game. You play all 4. I wish I could do like just 1 or 2. Just do a single run through of one character or 2 characters.
So maybe like if other characters could be CPUs.
Not even that. I mean, just scale it in the coding to
Just play for one.
to mirror how many people are playing. So instead of like, one of your first missions being cause a distraction at the tavern, instead of 4 people, you just got like 2. So it'd
Yeah.
be you versus 2.
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, that'd be pretty. I feel like that'd be a pretty tall task to do.
It probably would
the
be.
entire game to do.
Yeah. Like, I don't know the first thing about coding, so I don't imagine it's easy, but I wish it was also an option.
Yeah, for sure. Of course.
But this game it did come out, 2 months
Fairly
ago?
new.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of room for...
A lot of updates are popping out,
And they
too.
they did a lot with that first one. They released several campaigns, several new game modes. I think we have a lot.
Yeah, little side stuff,
think-
like the dungeon crawl.
Yeah, I think we have a lot to be excited for with this one. Like, still, for sure.
They've already got... let me see. They had a roadmap, and it was all the way to, I believe, January of 25.
Oh, yeah, so we got
Wow.
a lot to come.
If I'm not mistaken, I could be.
I mean, they
wrong.
put updates out for first one over years. There were new campaigns coming out.
I can't find it, but anyways, yeah, they had. Oh, I found it. Nah. Yeah, they had Q1 of 2025. They have a roadmap sitting out, and that's the first paid DLC they're releasing, because they have 2 quality of life big updates, and then they're going to release an infinite dungeon mode and bards as a class.
Oh yes. Oh, well, that's missing.
That is missing.
How did I not see that? That was like my favorite class.
Probably because you thought it was behind a locked thing.
That's true. But
You wouldn't have known.
But the first one being able to like if you critical hit, he did like a power slide with a loot. The best thing ever.
It's pretty hardcore.
Oh, yeah. Well, if there's that many quality of life updates, like I think these small gripes, hopefully with any luck, will hopefully go away.
I very much hope so.
Yeah, like you said, it just came out just a couple months ago, if not a month ago. So I mean, a lot of room for improvement here.
Yeah.
Yep. Anything else you need to add there, Tiller?
Nope, I think that's it.
All right. Time for everyone's favorite part. Also, we did want to mention we failed to mention it. We got to put it in our notes, guys. Come on, do better. To mention the price. So we did make a little special exception here. Remember at the intro of this episode, I said $20 and less. Well, that was a teensy-leensy winter white lie. Because we loved For the King 1 so much, we upped the price limit for one episode. It's $25 base, but
We got it on a
usually
deal,
goes on.
I think.
We got it on sale when it came out. It
Special
was under
promotion
$20.
price.
Yeah, it was when it came out, and I'm sure it'll come out more. And you can find all that with istthereanydeal.com, which is coming out with just starting the alpha of the new website. So it's pretty hype. It's not officially out, but you can see it on their website if you go to istthereanydeal.com, and then there's a little try the alpha in the top banner. You can click that, go to the new website. He's actively working on it every single day.
Yes. And he's working on a lot of they're working on a lot of augmenting Steam augmentation, which is really cool.
It looks clean, it looks way better. But it does all the same features. The first one, you can notify you whenever a game goes on sale under a certain price limit. So if it was $20, but you're waiting for it to go to $15, you can say, hey, send me an email when it goes under $15. As soon as it does it, bop, you get an email. Nothing more, only less. That's the correct wordage. Okay, so rating time. Who wants to start? Because I've got mine locked in.
I got mine.
Yep.
All right. I'm giving this a 8. 8 out of 10 for me. And I just think that there's just too many
Small gripes.
gleaming quality of life issues and the progression system and pretty much just this complete mystery on how to unlock progress. Frankly, I know I said I didn't really care about the story, but it's probably because the story is just so uninteresting to me that I just do not care. So I'm gonna ding it a little bit for that as well. Yeah, the gameplay is amazing, but there's also been games with amazing gameplay and an amazing story, so it's not like it's not possible. I'm just saying that the lack of story is excusable because of how fun the game is.
I gotcha.
And that's what I'm giving it. And if there's a lot of quality of life updates, that will easily get kicked up to a 9. And period.
Tyler, you go ahead, dude.
I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. This is a game that, like I said, I like playing with friends a lot more than by myself, but I have played it by myself a few times. It's not as exciting, but it's still, I love this game. I loved For the King 1. And like Justin said, a lot of quality of life updates. Would bump this up to a perfect 10. Just a few little gripes here and there.
All right. And
Nice. And
I am also going to give it a 9. I think out of the gripes that at least I have, they are small. They can be fixed rather easily. With them being fixed, it's a 10 out of 10. It's a permanent install on my PC, even as is right now, obviously. But with a small quality of life improvements and a little bit, and even story as is, to me, this is a 9 out of 10.
all right. There you go.
Yeah.
So what's that average? 8.66666666666666666666.
You did it.
Something like that.
Something like that. Okay, cool. There you go. There's For the King 2. It's on Steam for sure. I don't know really where
It's
else.
on Epic.
Is it being sold on Epic? Okay, there you go. It's being sold on Epic as well. Yeah, go pick it up. It's a blast. Highly recommend it. I'm still recommending it. I know it's the lowest, but gosh dang, 8 out of 10 is really the cutoff for you. It's great. Go get it. You know you want to.
Spend the money. Spend the extra money.
You won't miss it.
So we usually have a discussion topic to talk about, like maybe a posing question about, gaming industry or, blah, 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 blah. But we're going to do a little more personal one. The game discussion question of this episode is, what games are you most excited for to release? So I'll start because it's the hot topic right now, and I'm not spending a lot of time on it. But as of this recording, we are recording on December 6th, 2 days ago. GTA. Now, obviously, it's been out for a while, and I just spoiled what I was gonna say. But this was not mocked. Teased months ago. But GTA 6, man, I am so freaking stoked for that to come out. As if you could not tell from the trailer, the release trailer that came out, I think it got pretty close to 100 million views in 24 hours.
That's crazy.
That is insane.
I don't think you're the only person excited for this.
Oh, I think there's at least 6 more people that are excited.
At least 6.
At least.
But I am a big Rockstar fanboy. I know there's been kind of a little like, the method of their gaming or the storytelling of their gaming is kind of convoluted. That's a deep hole we'll go into. Definitely not here. But I freaking love them. Every single game they put out, I love, and I will consume product from Rockstar. I think this will be genuine, nothing less. I think this will be probably the game, if they live up to the hype. And good God, that is a very tall order to fill, and I still think they're going to exceed it with this one. I think it will be probably the game of the decade when it comes out. Genuinely.
Of the decade?
Of the decade.
Yikes.
I mean,
look at GTA 5, my guy.
I mean, it's never been my thing, but I know that there is a gigantic Grand Theft Auto community that has played GTA 5 since it released and still playing it.
You know when GTA 5 came out?
A long time ago.
It was like 15
years
wasn't
I was
it?
going to guess
Oh,
close
okay.
to
10 years
10
ago.
Yeah.
And it still has an active community to it.
Oh, yeah.
Let me ask you
And
this.
To today's standards, still looks like an amazing game.
There's complete Discord servers where people like role play in GTA 5.
Role play, yeah.
Let me ask you
I
this,
genuinely
Justin.
think that... Yeah, go ahead.
So the last one I even played was San Andreas.
My gosh.
What is the
Same
hype
here,
for
actually.
GTA? What is the hype about the game? Because I genuinely don't know.
That you can do
Just saying.
basically anything you want in a realistic setting.
So it's like a beefed up Sims.
It's a Sims that is not... It's a Sims tailored to like actually people that want like a really, I guess, hardcore experience more than a casual experience.
It's a city sandbox.
I don't think you really, truly, and I'm not like downplaying what you know about it. I really don't think you understood the possibilities that were available in GTA 5.
No,
If you
like I
are
said, I've
thinking
never...
about San Andreas as your last one.
Yeah,
San
that's
Andreas
all
is
I have to go
way
by.
dumbed down. Yeah,
Yeah, that's same.
you can legit run. There's entire role playing servers where people can have full-fledged careers. They can have houses they buy that they actually live in. There's actual like assigned police. There's assigned criminals. You can live an entire city's life.
Are you doing that? Is it like an MMO?
You can play it like
What
one.
do you mean?
I know you could play it like one, but like, can you, in the same city setting, I guess, could there be other players?
Oh yes, like it's filled with actual. Like you will have voice chat on, and you will talk to other people in the world, and you will talk like you are firefighter Sanders talking to firefighter Rodriguez.
Okay.
And you will actually go on calls, and you will put out like car fires or house fires
Gotcha.
using the fire trucks in the
That
game.
and like
So
that and like
that's
the,
wildly different than the
Yes.
old ones.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't want to downplay what you're saying.
No,
but
I
San
have
Andreas,
no idea what
that's
GTA
a whole
5.
other beast besides GTA 5.
I only know of GTA 5 from like different like little video clips of what people do, and like I've heard about the servers, which I think is honestly more appealing to me than like San Andreas. But because I know you can build stuff, right? Because people build stuff like into the freaking sky.
Oh yeah, there's a whole like creative. I mean, genuinely, if you can think it, probably in GTA 5, you can create it. Like you can make it, or you can have someone that can mod it.
And I think that answers Tyler's question. That's what the appeal is it's just one of the biggest sandbox games.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
And most realistic. Like did you all watch the trailer for GTA 6?
No.
My God, go look at it. It looks like freaking people.
I kid you not. I'm pretty sure I've never seen a video on GTA 5 either.
I'm surprised by that.
Well,
since you,
that's incredible that you just don't like see a short or anything that has like GTA 5 gameplay in the background.
Yeah, like I've not even seen gameplay. I don't even know what it looks like. The closest I've come to it is back in PlayStation. I saw someone who I was friends with on the PSN playing it. That's it. I've seen the title.
You sound like a true Kingdom Hearts fan, my guy.
Yep.
Oh wait. Anyways, yeah, you should look at the trailer. Just the trailer alone. I know it's the trailer, but again, Rockstar usually does not.
I mean, they
oversell on their trailers. They usually if they put it in the trailer, that's what you're going to experience. They don't pull the EA and Activision.
Like I'm not even a huge Rockstar fan, but they don't miss.
They don't.
They just don't. Like they release full games, and they're I don't think they're ever broken. So no, I mean,
that's why I said something in there. I said that'll be something I buy probably day one, unless it comes out to negative feedback, which knowing Rockstar won't.
These guys didn't think of the GTA trilogy remaster.
But yeah, I just know that I'm gonna have to get the RTX 9099 LTX Deluxe Edition for $2,000 to run the bare minimum on it because.
But it sounds like. Now I don't know if this is a meme or not, but is it actually coming out in 25?
It's 25. Yeah, that's in the trailer.
Oh, okay. So
that's how far it's teased out.
You got a year to save. Then you're good.
There you go,
dude. You darn tootin', I will save up for. That'll be 3 months of my life.
And you'll probably already have like a couple generations of NVIDIA GPUs.
That's true. Yeah, they'll be in the 10,000s at that point. Yeah. So, all right, that's my topic, or that's my pick.
I'm excited that you're excited.
Okay, who's next?
Go ahead, Todd.
Who's next?
Kingdom Hearts 4. After waiting a decade to play 3 and getting insanely disappointed, I'm still hyped for 4. Oh yeah, no.
I guess
3 is
Justin wouldn't know about.
I don't know anything about this. What?
Okay. So Kingdom Hearts got 1, 2, 3 with a lot of other off-base games.
256 and a half days.
Yes, nailed it.
Was that it?
No. 3, 5, 6 over 2 days.
3, 5, 6. Oh, I was close.
So there is Kingdom Hearts 2, Kingdom Hearts 3. There's a 10-year difference. And it was teased maybe 2 years after the second one came out that there's going to be a third one. I mean, you knew there was going to be a third one.
We were teased for a decade, dude.
Then they just kept coming out with all of these side games, which were great. I like them, except Recoded. We got to talk about that.
That's my favorite one.
But when 3 came out and they showcased the trailer, and it's the first world you play in the game, which is Olympus, you're like, this looks absolutely stunning. Right. We're talking like they said it was coming out on the PS3. I was like, sweet, I'm going to buy a PS3 for this game. PS4 comes around.
PS4 is out. PS4 is out for quite a while.
We're banking on PS5, Xbox One era coming out just about. And then it decides to come out. So, yeah, 10 years. And it ended up being a huge bust. The game is not that great.
I mean, there's parts I love about it.
Yes, Olympus is the best world.
Yeah.
The Gummies missions, freaking phenomenal. Everything else, maybe go back to the whiteboards. Try again.
But it says something about the series that we're still really excited. I say we because I'm also pretty excited for Kingdom Hearts 4.
Mm-hmm.
But Kingdom Hearts 3, man, like it.
If this doesn't give you the dynamic we have.
Yeah,
going
Grand
on.
Theft Auto 6.
Excited for. I'm on Grand Theft Auto 6, and these two are like, freaking Kingdom Hearts 4, let's freaking go!
So, like, Kingdom Hearts 3 was visually stunning. Mechanically stunning. Like, the gameplay's super fun.
Oh, yeah.
But,
Fluid.
yeah, exactly. It was so pretty. But the story is basically, hey, let's walk through these Pixar movies that you've seen before, and it's going to be exactly the same as that Pixar movie, and hardly any different. And we're going to give you, like, 30 minutes of Kingdom Hearts lore at the end of the game.
Wait, is Kingdom Hearts 3 the one that had Toy Story in it?
Yes.
Oh, I remember when that came out. Yeah, I was like, hey, I recognize that. It's Toy
And
Story.
I mean, those worlds
Yeah, that's about it.
those
That's what I
worlds were
remember.
pretty, but the narrative just, and don't get me wrong, Kingdom Hearts already has a struggling narrative at best.
Oh, we're going to get to that challenge here
yeah,
soon.
true. But
We have a fun challenge for the end of this episode, by the way.
I was just so more confused by 3 than anything else, I think. I don't know if you got the same vibe, Tyler.
Not
like
not necessarily confused, because like between all the side games and the cinematics that they've released, after watching those numerous times, trying to catch the details here and there, it makes sense. Like they're trying to tie it together best they can. I mean, they had a decade to do it and they still kind of failed. But I'm not too confused. Confusing aspects.
I'm more
yes.
confused. I'm confused that they only put Kingdom Hearts lore at like the end of the game.
Yeah.
Like and complete omission of Final Fantasy characters, which was like the whole freaking thing. Like a good half of it, you know, like that. Hey, there's Final Fantasy characters, but there's Disney characters too. And then just for no reason, no narrative reason at all, Final Fantasy characters just don't exist in 3.
Yeah. So they were a vital part in 1 and 2, just didn't appear in 3. Kingdom Hearts is all about, Disney worlds and settling the darkness in those worlds. And like Dylan said, if you've watched Frozen, you pretty much play the movie, but only Elsa's tower or castle.
Yeah, you're a side character in Frozen.
Yeah. And it's super disappointing because you're like, I've seen this movie. Same with Monsters, Inc. Toy Story was different enough.
Right.
But I do like what they did with Toy Story, because what they could have done different, I don't think would have worked. Like if you were just in Andy's room the whole time, like, how fun is that? Whatever. What they did with going to like the mall and all the different things you do there, that was cool. So there's like a little diversity, here and there, but for the most part, the Pixar Disney movies that you've seen, you basically play those movies. Like I said, Frozen and Tangled are the worst that I can think of off the top of my head. Those are just
y'all are more disappointed that they just had all these IPs and stuff and literally took no risks.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't.
But see, that's the difference, because in 1 and 2, they had all these IPs. They had Disney worlds, but they were very much worlds that were already doing their own thing, and you were just in that world. It wasn't, hey, here's the plot of the movie.
Now you get to watch it again.
You get to watch it again. It was something completely different that involved the characters that you already knew, which I thought was, I especially as a kid, I thought was incredible.
Yeah, I mean, so in the first 2, they make the darkness make sense in those worlds. In 3, they didn't. It was just kind of there. Like, at least for instance, in the first one, Tarzan's level, the Clayton, he's corrupted by darkness. I mean, they just make it work with the level design and all that. In 3, it's just like I said, they're just kind of, the Heartless are just there, and you just play the movie.
Again, it just felt like
maybe you got older, Tyler. Maybe that's what it is.
No.
It was friendship.
I think it's friendship all along.
Like, yeah, and usually, like, you in the first one or second one too, like, you did a world, and then in between there was like some Kingdom Hearts lore, and then there was another world, and then like some Kingdom Hearts lore, and I felt like there was none up till like the final part of the game, and it was like, oh, here's 30 minutes of of like important stuff that you should know about.
Yeah.
But we took a little bit of time on Kingdom Hearts, so I'll mention.
This is my favorite part of
It
the
is.
podcast so
I'll
far.
mention my favorite or my most excited upcoming game, and it's because this game I've watched this game on Kickstarter. It's been talked about and teased, and supposedly they've got an actual date, and it's like April 25th of next year. But it's Ueden Chronicles 100 Heroes. This is
What in the English did you just say?
Ueden Chronicles 100 Heroes.
You with them chronicles?
Ueden.
You with them? Hey, you.
But
You with them
it
chronicles?
is so they have already released Ueden Chronicles Rising, which is
Can you? I'm not even memeing. Can you spell that? Like, what? What are you
I
saying?
think it's EUIYDEN. Ueden.
Okay, you would.
Um,
Got it. Okay.
But it's basically a predecessor to the classic JRPG that is Suikoden, the Suikoden series, which is very popular in Japan. It is popular in the North America, but it's huge over there. It's basically the classic JRPG is like its shtick is that you have like hundreds of recruitable characters. Like most JRPGs, you have like 3 or 4 playable characters. No, this has like hundreds, and you have a party of like 6, and you have different like attacks that like mesh with other characters if they have like a close bond or they have a certain special move that it's its own thing. And I definitely encourage people to like look into that series because it's really cool, and honestly it holds up so freaking well. But the original creator of like Suikoden 1 and 2 are back like working on Ueden Chronicles 100 Heroes, and they've been working on this for years, and it's stunning looking for a JRPG. It looks fantastic. And earlier this year, I think, or possibly last year, they brought out Ueden Chronicles Rising, which is like a sister game. And weirdly, a side-scroller. They made a complete side-scroller game as a sister game, and if you play through it, you get certain amount of characters from your data onto the next game. So wow. Like in the Ueden Chronicles Rising, there's a kangaroo character that wields like a buster sword. And so when I play 100 Heroes, it'll recognize, hey, you've played this, you beat it, you get these characters somehow. They'll show up. But it's in the same universe, and you learn about the same stuff. But very much excited. Like I said, it's been on Kickstarter. It was on Kickstarter for a few years and got like completely funded, and then very random, the Xbox E3 like 2 or 3 years ago announced it at E3, and I was like, oh, they're like backed by Xbox now. This is huge. So it's finally coming to fruition and coming out next year. So really excited, but I'll keep it short on that. But
That's pretty cool.
yeah, very.
No, that's. I looked it up because I obviously, you know me and my JRPG knowledge
Right.
is limitless. It's a pretty game.
It
That's
looks very pretty, and the thing that
It's got a cool blend of 2D and 3D.
yeah, it does.
Going on.
It's cool because
like
like
that.
there's like a back row that like sometimes are like up on branches, and like it's just really cool how they have the art style set up. But the thing that set Suikoden apart from like all the other JRPGs was the amount of characters and amount of combos and the sheer amount of like replayability, because it's honestly really difficult to unlock all the characters in that game. And this is like PS1 era, so it was pretty big feat.
Oh, so this has been around for a hot.
Yeah, there's Suikoden 1 through I think 5. There was even Suikoden Tactics at one point. Yeah,
Didn't it come out on PS1?
Suikoden 1 and 2 came out on PS1. There was
Yeah.
a few that came out on PS2. And then I believe Tactics might have been 1 or 2 on PSP, or maybe PS Vita. So it's a
Dang.
beloved series. Like it's one you don't necessarily hear a lot of people talk about in like North America and stuff. But if you're a JRPG like fanboy, like you know about this game for sure.
Huh. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. So to end this episode,
Oh yeah, the best
we
part.
have a very special contest.
Can we
absolutely no
Can we
prizes?
dim the lights? Dim the lights.
Yeah, dim the lights, everyone. Dim your lights. Get in your fancy clothes. We have a special challenge for Tyler.
Unless you're driving at
Talked about
night, keep your lights on.
Right before this episode, we were like, "Hey, let's do this," because we talked about Kingdom Hearts because we definitely plan a lot. All right. So, are the challenges? Tyler is going to explain the entirety of the plots of all of the Kingdom Hearts series in 30 seconds. And once that timer hits 30, I'm going to start the outro and we're breaking down. I'm going to give him a 5-second warning by going beep, beep. And that's going to be the only warning he gets. So, Tyler, are you ready?
Yes.
Your timer is ready.
When does it start?
I'm gonna go with 3, 2, 1, go. On go. That's your start. You ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1, go.
There is a master of masters. He trains Keyblades, which is a key sword. Wielders. He tries to get a party together. He travels to the future. There's Heartless. He messes with timelines. There's like 13 versions of him. Creates 13 bad guys, 7 heroes of light. They all come together. They try to take down the darkness.
Beep, beep.
And try to restore light to all the worlds.
Time!
Dude, you could have.
Dude, I get it. I get
Okay,
Kingdom
good.
Hearts now.
Dude, you could give Tyler 30 minutes, man, and it'd still be tough.
My favorite part was, Tyler, you got 30 seconds. You've got to explain this sprawling, this 15, 20-year franchise of just nonstop, super confusing lore. And I'm like, all right, go. And he spends the first 5 seconds going, there is the key master.
I think I would have just started
Like, bro,
naming like
You are not valuing time. Just start throwing characters out. Start saying
I did
stuff.
just start throwing words and characters just randomly.
Dude,
No, not
you
even
had-
sentences.
You have to start at the beginning. There's a master of masters.
That's fine, but you took 5 seconds to say the master of master.
There was a
Dude.
Keyblade.
There's-
Keyblade.
there's too much.
War, light, friends, forgiveness, enemies.
There's too much.
See, that's I don't know. I like Tyler's version better. It's just like 17 enemies, darkness.
No,
You
13.
got to get 13. See,
seven,
that's how much I
seven
listened.
light.
7 light. You got to win. Stop the darkness.
Yeah, I don't know why you need more.
I don't need
than
to
that.
play the game. I don't need to play the game.
I thought I did phenomenal.
I would.
Master of masters.
All right,
light
we
dark.
need a let's play of Justin playing through Kingdom Hearts. That'd be so funny.
Oh man, yeah, we're gonna post that for sure. All right, you're gonna see that on the YouTube when that happens. I love you. I am Justin.
Wow.
Wah.
There's no way you're taking Kyrie's heart.
It's definitely over now.